Hi, this is Larry Nimmer. I'm the producer-director of this documentary and worked for Michael Jackson, Tom Mesereau. Back in 2005, I shot this footage. Today's actually a couple days after the memorial. You can see here fans gathered outside the gates of Neverland, as they often did prior to Michael's death and now since his death. Having fun outside as they were just after during his memorials. Here you can see the fences are not secure. Cows are roaming around once you enter Neverland. Here's the main gate area once you're inside, and there are a lot of lyrics from Michael's songs and poems, and they were going to feature in the trial, so I shot footage of quite a few of them, although as it turns out they weren't an issue at trial after all. And the gates are opened by triggering by a cart driving by in the background, and this is just inside. And here's the little building just as you go inside the gates. I think Elizabeth Taylor donated that ice cream thing. There are mannequins inside this building and some Michael Jackson memorabilia. Now we're traveling around a lake on the way to the main house. It was built, by the way, by a golf course developer, owned the property. And throughout the grounds there were statues like these, also music coming out of little speakers throughout the grounds. Music like you'd hear at Disneyland, Fantasia type music. Here's the main entrance to that main house, a Tudor house, and here I am walking in the main entrance. You see a lot of statues, paintings, and this mannequin. And there were hot cookies on the plate there. I think I had one that day. This is interesting. This isn't the amusement park. This is the kids' private play structures that were just behind the house. Now, this is the guest cottage where the Arvizos stayed, where Marlon Brando and others stayed. And I'm doing a pan here from the guest cottage to one of the clocks at Neverland, because Michael Jackson's accusers claimed they were held against their will and they weren't allowed to know the time of day. However, there are clocks throughout the property, and we shot quite a few of them, and when I narrated the footage at trial, I pointed out all the clocks. This is another view of the guest cottage where the Arvizos stayed, quite idyllic. That's the main house, and I'm pulling back, and I'm actually shooting this from the guest cottage to show the close proximity from where the Arvizos stayed to the main house. And it was very nicely furnished, as you can see, with the lake out the window and a jet d'eau little fountain going on. Always there seem to be swans and other animals around the lakes. This is the outside of the guest cottage. Now we're back on the grounds. You can see some of the playful sculptures on the property. I believe many of them have been removed now. Here we're going towards the zoo and the arcade. Quite a few animals at the zoo, including giraffes, llamas, elephants, and what have you. Those llamas are cute. Here's the amusement park. Now, when I was there weren't any other children on the property other than Michael's. There were no tours allowed in during the trial, but I got the operator of the amusement park to operate all the rides so we can see what it would normally be like. More of Michael's lyrics or poems here in the amusement park, and once again I videotaped these thinking they were going to be used at trial. I did both some still photos and video of this. Back on one of the trains, there were three trains on the property. Michael tells a story how the train whistle when he grew up in Gary, Indiana was so magical to him, and so he really appreciated it. Now we're outside the video library. There were a few video libraries at Neverland. This is, I guess, the one that his guests would use, and this was shot in 2005. It's mainly VHS tapes. At that time, there were some DVDs around. But his personal VHS store was kind of like a Blockbuster kind of store with titles and by category all the videos and films were kept. And he had quite an interesting cross-section, mainly wholesome family entertainment. The cops, obviously, or the sheriffs were looking for something more incriminating, but I don't believe they found anything. This is the administrative offices across from the main house, and one of a painting of a famous pose of his in the background. This is the mail room. He constantly got mail from around the world, particularly during the trial. Mail showing fans' support. Mail from all over Iran, Vietnam, France, Italy, U.S., etc. Now I'm exiting the main gates, and often when you exit, there were fans, and they always kind of responded when I drove out, thinking that maybe I'm somebody important. They didn't know it was just me. And now this is Neverland at nighttime. I also showed a number of clocks at nighttime to show that the Arvizos could know the time of day at night as well as day. This is a little gazebo on the lake opposite the guest cottage where the Arvizo stayed. Another view of it. And we did a few pans from it to this clock here at one of the train stations. This is the main gate shortly before leaving Neverland, and it's pretty cool how the lights come on and off, and the crown at the top of the gate. Michael Jackson. Almost looks like rest in peace below it. And then as you exit the property, the sign said goodbye to whoever was leaving. So those were a few extra clips from my shoot at Neverland.